fresh slate of quirky, fun, different movies are headed to downtown Tuscaloosa. It's called the Bama Art House Fall Film Series. And David Allgood's here from the Bama Theatre to tell me more about it. David, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Danny.
Yes, sir. Now, before we get to the movies, it's an important weekend coming up in a couple of weeks.
Well,
big birthday, right?
Yeah, and this week also.
Okay, there we go.
Right, next week we have Judy Collins on September 7th, celebrating 75 years of the Bama Theatre.
Wow, okay. 75 years.
75 years. It doesn't look that old, does
it? It doesn't. Neither do you. I know you've been there turning the lights on ever since they opened it.
I was there in 1938. Feels like it sometimes.
Oh, yeah. No.
But we're excited about Judy coming. Of course, she's going to be with the Tuscaloosa Symphony. It's going to be a beautiful, elegant night. And there's still some good seats left. Tickets are going much quicker this week. But we still have a lot of seats left, and encourage people to come down and see this great show.
Now, will she be singing, or is she playing an instrument?
No, she's singing.
Okay.
She's singing, and she'll play piano and guitar.
There we go.
She was a classically trained pianist, and almost went on that side of the music industry rather than pop and folk music.
Pop and folk. Those doggone pop and folk musicians. Just messing everything up. All right. And then on top of the super talented Judy Collins being there, you guys will be cranking up your movies again, right?
That happens a little quicker. That's Tuesday, September 3rd. We have an excellent documentary, Muscle Shoals.
Oh, and I believe we've got the trailer for that. We can show the folks at home. And you can chat over those.
Okay. It's, of course, the story of all the great artists who've recorded in Muscle Shoals over the years. Wilson Pickett, Paul Simon, Bob Dylan, all went to Muscle Shoals and recorded some of their best work there, the Rolling Stones. And also about some of the controversy there when a core group of the musicians left and started their own studio.
Ah, there you go.
So there were two studios competing, but they were both great.
That always happens in music, doesn't it?
It does. There's a lot of competition and backstabbing.
People break off, go do their own thing.
And there's some bad things, too.
Not in the music industry. Nothing bad ever happens there.
But we're going to have a great band from Muscle Shoals, The Bear, who played at the Bama a couple of times. They're a Americana roots type group. And they're going to be playing in the Greensboro room at 6 o'clock. And we're going to have a cake. And invite people to come early, get your ticket to the movie, and come hear The Bear and then watch the movie. And of course our bar will be open for those of age.
For those of age.
That's right.
And of a certain predilection.
Yes.
Let's see, and then you guys, the next week, you'll have a movie called Stories We Tell, and then that's followed by Blue Jasmine. And
that's Woody Allen movie.
There you go. Alec Baldwin's in that, Kate Blanchett's, Louis C.K.
It's a cavalcade of stars.
It is. Holy moly. That looks like that's going to be really good.
We're glad to get that one.
And then The Act of Killing. That looks pretty good, too.
Controversial film about the Cambodian killing fields and some of the guys that were involved in that who are still around.
All right, and then let's see.
COG is from a David Sedaris short story, and we expect a lot of people to come. And the next one, Big Star, is a documentary about the Memphis band in the early 70s who should have made it but didn't, but influenced tons of musicians later, REM, the Posies, all the 80s bands, just revered Big Star, and Alex Chilton, who was their lead writer and lead singer.
And somehow they didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
Much like this show.
Oh, totally unlike this show.
And then Much Ado About Nothing, and Prince Avalanche.
Prince Avalanche is with Paul Rudd and Emil Hirsch. It's a comedy, indie comedy, and we're looking forward to that. And if I had just a second,
sure, go for it.
Just wanted to remind everybody about tomorrow night is the grand opening of the Cultural Arts Center, the Dinah Washington Cultural Arts Center.
Big deal.
The public's invited at 6:30. Again, we'll have cake because we are the Marie Antoinette of nonprofits. And
let them eat cake.
We really want them to come out
and
see this beautiful building. Of course, it's in the Jemison, the old Jemison building at the corner of 7th and Greensboro. I just can't describe how gorgeous it is. UA has a art gallery in there as well, and there's a display of Oriental rugs right now, private collections, just phenomenal. But we want everyone to come out and see it. The building was saved. It's 110 years old, which shows it can be done.
Can be done.
Repurposed.
Just be careful with the cake and any rolling Tudor heads that may.
Yeah, well, we will have more cake always.
All right, super. David, good to see you again.
See you, Dave.
You can catch the movie Muscle Shoals Tuesday, September 3rd at the Bama Theatre. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. You can find out more by calling 205-758-5195 or online at bamatheater.org. Don't forget about Judy Collins. That's going to be on September the 7th. And don't forget about the Cultural Arts Center opening tomorrow. That happens at 7:30. 6:30.